having a tough schedule will not stop Florida from being a playoff contender this year. Anytime the thought of Florida making it to the CFP gets brought up, it's, oh, they have such a difficult schedule. I don't know. Like, everybody else in the SEC doesn't have a difficult schedule. Anybody in this conference can lose to anybody on any given Saturday. We saw Ole Miss lose to Kentucky, who was one of the worst teams in the SEC last year. Oklahoma dragged Alabama through the mud and ended their playoff hopes. It doesn't matter how good you are. You can lose to anybody in the SEC. Florida is good enough that they can get right with any team on their schedule. You got DJ Lagway, the most hyped up quarterback in the history of college football. 12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, never got more hype. He essentially is a top 3 quarterback coming into this season. You got a top 10 offensive line and defensive line with Tyreek Sapp, who eventually will be a potential first-round pick in next year's draft. You got Cormani McClain with a potential breakout season on the way. There's not a single team on Florida's schedule this year that they don't have the ability to beat. The ceiling for the Gators in 2025 is 10-2, possibly making an appearance in the SEC title game. The ceiling for this squad is 8 wins. My prediction for Florida is that they go 9-3 this year. Look, Texas doesn't want that smoke with Florida in the swamp. Playing in the swamp is one of the toughest places to get a win at. Ask LSU, ask Ole Miss what happened last year when they came to the swamp and DJ Lagway and Billy Napier sent them home packing, ending their playoff hopes. Georgia, they got past close between Florida and the Bulldogs this year. Hell, if DJ Lagway never got injured against Georgia last year, Florida probably ends up winning that game. Against Miami early during the season, Florida has to get their lid back on Miami. Miami came into your trap, took over your trap, and embarrassed you. Now you have to pay them back the favor by coming into their trap, although it's not technically their trap because it's not their own stadium, technically. But still, the point is the same. Miami has to lose to Florida this year. It's only right. Florida has a better team than Miami, and to be quite honest with you, DJ Lagway is the difference in Florida overcoming the Canes this year. Just like how Cam Ward was mainly the difference in Miami clobbering the Gators in the swamp last year. LSU and Texas A&M are winnable world games. Texas A&M gets a lot of love in the offseason. They're in a bunch of top 10s, top 15 rankings. When the season rolls around, they never play up to that level of offseason hype. LSU, I got to see it to believe it with Brian Kelly. Same thing for a lot of you folks out there. Tennessee and Ole Miss are mid. These are the 2 most overrated teams in the SEC this year. Tennessee is losing their best player on offense, the SEC Offensive Player of the Year, in Dylan Sampson. They lose 4 starters on the offensive line. They lose a lot of talent on defense, especially in their secondary. Hell, their best cornerback, who was a first-team All-American, tore his ACL in January. Ole Miss bought their team through the portal last year. All of those portal additions from 2024 are gone. It's not as if Ole Miss recruits like they're Ohio State or Texas or anybody like that. Tennessee and Ole Miss are due for a down season. Florida's schedule is not as hard as what it looks like. Florida has a good enough team that they can get right with anybody on their schedule this year. There's not a single game that Florida doesn't have a chance of being able to win this year when you have DJ Lagway, who is expected to take the infamous Tim Tebow leap. And when that happens, not only is he going to be a Heisman Trophy contender or a Heisman Trophy finalist potentially, but he's going to elevate Florida to a level that they haven't been since the Urban Meyer era in Gainesville. This is one of the top 15, top 13 best teams in college football entering this season. The Florida Gators are not Vanderbilt. They're not Northwestern, when we should be scared of who they play. Oh, their schedule is so tough. Alabama's schedule is tough. Oklahoma's schedule is tough. Georgia's schedule is tough. Florida shouldn't be this program where we have to just emphasize how difficult their schedule is. Like, this isn't a program that has history. Like, Florida isn't a program that has several national championships in football. This is a proud program. This is a storied program. So I think that Florida fans should be a hell of offended when you have to hear this nonsense about you could be a playoff team, but your schedule is so tough. So what's the point of paying DJ Lagway all this money? What's the point of giving Billy Napier another season in the swamp if you need an easy path to get to the college football playoffs? If you can't beat a school like Texas, Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M on the road, Ole Miss, Tennessee, your ass don't deserve to be the head coach of Florida, and you don't deserve to be playing in the SEC. When you have that SEC logo on your jersey, on the back of your helmet, it represents something. It represents that you are in the upper echelon of college football. If you can't handle the heat in this conference, you've already lost. So if your whole excuse of Florida not making it to the playoffs is, oh, their schedule's so tough, so everybody needs to have an easy schedule to be a playoff contender? Like we didn't see Georgia go through a gauntlet last year? Come on now, there are no cakewalks in the SEC. There is no duck and no smoke in this conference. Florida is well equipped to handle the rigors of their 2025 schedule. This is a 9-win team with a ceiling of 10, possibly 11 wins if everything goes right, based off how well Billy Napier has recruited and developed talent. This is definitely a playoff contender.